Folks, what's going on? It's your boy Wade here once again on DAZN to talk to you about the main event here at the Creed Royale, Jake Paul, Andre August. What happens in this fight? Why are we here? What's this fight about? All of that and more, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so Jake is taking a fight here against a relative unknown in Andre August, which is in its own right a little dangerous, right? You're fighting a guy that can make his name off you, that can change his life off you, and a win doesn't do much for the name of Jake Paul because we know who the problem child is. He's the reason we're all here, right? He is MVP co-founder. He's breaking records with pay-per-view revenue. He is knocking fools out and moving up his trajectory in the boxing ring. But this fight is, in his own words, a little different because it's an experience fight. He wants to gain experience. He wants to fight a real boxer with a real background, amateur and pro, and he wants to prove to the naysayers, I guess, that he's a real boxer and that he's taking this seriously and that he's going to be a world champion. This fight specifically, why Andre August, why right now? Well, if you look across the table at Andre August, like I said, not a big name, but big-time punching power, devastating violence. The guy hits like a Mack truck, and I think that is what Jake is looking for. Danger, something to wake him back up in this scene, something to unleash the problem child. They just weighed in today, both of them at 199 pounds. Jake has never fought that heavy. So my thing is, I think Jake is going back to what made him successful in the first place, right? We've seen him get better as a boxer, but in his own words, he misses that KO punch. He misses that danger, that firefight. And sometimes you can get a little overeducated as a boxer. Sometimes you can get a little too into the sweet science and overthink things. And I think Jake wants to go back to basics and knocking fools out. So how does the fight go? I see Jake boxing early because a guy like Andre August is most dangerous early. You want to get in and start swinging back and forth with a guy that really has nothing to lose. You're talking about 50-50s, and those percentages don't go in the favor of anybody. That's a coin toss, right? That's not what you want to do, or at least that's not what I think Jake wants to do. Who knows? But I think boxing early to see how much a guy like Andre August, who's 35 and who's been in this game a long time, how much he is willing to go the distance here. We're going 8 rounds. That's going to be important. Avoiding Andre August's lead hand. He has big-time power in his left hook, and then it's an obvious setup to his right hand. His right hand is nasty behind that. If you go back to his last fight versus Brandon Martin just earlier this year, he used that left hand to dig to the body inside, and then the right hand comes over the top of it. And again, Jake being the taller fighter, it's a natural setup to the big overhand. So for those two reasons, you want to make sure that you're aware of the lead hand of Andre August, aware of the power and his inside fighting. I think that Andre August is probably the best inside fighter that Jake has fought. Like Tommy fought him at range and with combinations, but not necessarily in the phone booth. I think that's where Andre August wants to be. So for Jake, maybe it is a little bit of the crazy side of Jake that wants to get in and have a brawl. I don't know. I think that most likely him being on his jab, using what Third Chambers and the Crunk style has taught him about being active and heavy on his jab with his footwork and then setting up shots from the outside to go inside is probably the best plan. I think Jake is very adamant about getting this fight done early. I mean, he was telling Andre August yesterday that he knocked down his coach in sparring, and he was supposed to put the video on Twitter. I was actually excited to see that. But he's looking to knock him out early. He's told us in fighter meetings it's going to be a first-round knockout. I think it may take a little longer than that, but I do see Jake Paul being more aggressive in this fight and potentially, I think he gets a stoppage here. I don't know where, I don't know when, but if that doesn't happen, that's where Andre August is dangerous. So you could either see Jake getting aggressive early and getting it done, or potentially having issues stopping a guy like Andre August. Because we're up in weight, 198 pounds, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. So if Jake can't get that stoppage, this fight becomes a lot closer than you think. So that's my breakdown for Jake Paul, Andre August. It is going live tonight here at the Creed Royale Resort. I am Wade Plemons for DAZN. I will see you there.